So this video is about pranayama or breathing, basically. Well, breathing techniques are like a very vague definition of pranayama. Pranayama is a Sanskrit, a combination of two Sanskrit words. Prana being life force and yama being the restriction or control, so control of life force. And the best way to start to learn how to control our life force is to start to control our breath. So that's what this video is basically about. The way that I like to describe breathing and why it's so important, and I've used this description so many times to people all over, is to think about diet, to think about water, to think about breath all together, right? So we know that in order to be healthy, we need to eat certain food, right? And that the better the food we eat, the more healthy our body is, the easier it can recover from illness, regenerate cells, and just be healthy and happy. And so if we're trying to lose weight or we're trying to improve our health, one of the first things we look at is diet. But how long can a human being go without eating? 30 days, 40 days, sometimes more. It just depends. Then you look at water, right? We know we need water in our bodies to survive, and that clean, pure water is the best thing for us, and we should drink a certain amount of it each day, and we should drink it at certain times a day, before meals or after meals or whatever. There's so much different opinions on when the best times and the best type of water, but everybody knows that water is very, very essential to our health, and that we can't live without it, right? And how long can a human being go without drinking water? Well, a human being can go 3 days, 4 days, something like that, without having any type of water intake before they're wasting away. Maybe longer. It just depends on the individual and their health. So we know how important water is, right? Even more important than food. But then how often do we think about our breath, the way that we breathe, what it does for our bodies, how long our inhales, our exhales are, where we're breathing from, not just whether it's through the nose or the mouth, but what part of our lungs we're using. But then we never pay attention to this in day-to-day life, right? We take this for granted as just a function of life that happens on its own. But then how long can you go without breathing, right? If you practice, like the pros that do, free diving and go down for hundreds of feet on one breath, they still can maybe make it like 5 minutes, 8 minutes, These are like records. I can hold my breath for 2.5, almost 3 minutes, most people can hold their breath for, 45 seconds to a minute. It depends on if they practice. And how, after that, we start losing our brain function, we start losing control of our bodily functions, and ultimately we can die in a matter of minutes from asphyxiation. So tell me what's the most important, right? What's more important? What you eat, what you drink, how you breathe, right? And so we've kind of lost this in our culture, in our society, and I kind of want to bring back just how important and how vital it is to pay attention to your breath. We can improve from symptoms of depression. We can lower our anxiety. We can calm ourselves. We can combat our anger and other things that go on in our mind just through breathing. everybody's heard like take a deep breath and count to 10 when you're ready to punch someone in the face, right? So this is a prime example of how you can use breathing to calm yourself down, to get more in touch with what's going on internally. And the more we cultivate that, the more we can gain control of other functions of our body that we completely dismiss and think of involuntary. So our nervous system, our respiratory system, our digestive system, all of these things in our body are controlled by our brain. And what did they say, that we use maybe 10% of our brain capacity, of our actual brain function, and the rest is just working on its own or not doing anything at all. Well, the yogis, they cultivated all of these different systems of breath to help us to get in touch with all of those other systems, to help us to gain control of all those other systems. So when you listen to the monks and the yogis and all of these other people from back in the day, and you listen to all these stories, a lot of these people could control every single aspect of their body, right? You get in touch, and honestly, like, I've done a lot of different types of meditation, and during Vipassana meditations, sitting hours and hours a day, just sitting there and meditating, you get to where you can feel sensation in parts of your body that you didn't even realize that there could be sensation there. When you're starting to feel little cells, like all these little tingling cells in one specific part of your body, when you're able to focus your attention to the tip of your finger and realize how many things are moving and reacting there. And it's really amazing. And I'm not trying to claim to be some sort of expert on that. I just know from personal experience how deep you can go just by paying attention to your breath, just by paying attention to your thoughts. And I think that it's hard for a lot of us to listen to all of this because we have so much other stuff going on in our day. But that's why I want to break things down into small, short videos that people can really do. If it only takes you 5 minutes or 10 minutes in the morning to do, like, who doesn't have that 10 minutes, right? You can make that 10 minutes. You make 10 minutes to do just about anything in your life, right? So I'm not telling you that you need to sit for hours and pay attention to your breath and pay attention, and meditate and do all this other stuff. I'm just trying to relay the importance of learning how to get in touch with all of these other functions of our body and our mind, and just express at least my belief on how much we can progress as a individual human being and as a society as a whole, a collective consciousness, if we all start to move in this direction. So I would like to go through the first 4 basic pranayama techniques with you. These are just to get an idea of where you're breathing and how you're breathing. And once you can put more focus on where you're breathing from and how you're breathing, you can change so many parts of your day-to-day function. You can actually control your thoughts and your mind just by changing your breathing. The first one is an equalizing breath, right? So we think of our lungs in 3 main parts, right? We have our diaphragm, we have our middle chest, and we have the clavicular area, right? You have your clavicle bones. Underneath you have your clavicular muscles. In the middle of your chest, you also have these muscles here in your sides. These are your intercostal muscles that go in between your rib cage, right? These muscles are actually very important because if you look at a lot of old people, you see like old people that hunch, that they can't stand up straight anymore. They didn't take care of these muscles, their intercostal muscles. So even just by breathing, you can support yourself to be healthier and happier later in life, right? So in our equalizing breath, we think also we can think of it as a three-part breath, right? So it goes from the diaphragm, then it fills up to the chest, then it fills up to the top of the chest, the clavicular, into the throat. We don't want to be breathing in so much to where we're like, you know, holding this tension in here. We want it to be a very natural but mindful breath, right? And so we're going to breathe in through our nose. For all of these, we're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our nose. We're not going to use our mouth at all. And the way it was described to me is, think of your lungs like a big pitcher, and you're pouring water into this pitcher, right? So it fills up from the bottom first, and it slowly fills up and fills up and fills up to the top. And then if you were to pour that water out, it goes from the top all the way back down to the bottom, right? So we'd inhale for a count of 4 and exhale for a count of 4. So it'll come in the diaphragm, up to the chest, up to here, then back down, slowly back down, slowly back down, right? So if you want to look at it, it'll be inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can do this with me, right? You're going to inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. I'm going to keep counting. You start with your diaphragm, inhaling 4, 3, moving up to the chest, 2, 1, and exhaling from the chest down, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. You don't have to do any hand movements. I'm just trying to show you what part of your lungs you're using at that time. So we'll do it a couple more times. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhaling. If you can see me, I'll show you from the side. Here. So start here, your inhale. Nice. So, anyways, sorry, take my shirt. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it off. Hopefully, it doesn't make you feel uncomfortable. I know I look pretty good, but anyways, the next one is our intercostal muscles, right? So you think of these muscles inside your rib cage, right? You can get a better view this way. That's why I have my shirt off. So we do what we call our Lego hands, and we cup these ribs right here, and you can see I'm letting all the air out. I'm not pushing hard, right? But I can feel that pressure on my ribs. You can see the ribs open and close, right? So it kind of like opens and turns outwards as you inhale and exhale, right? And we'll do the same count. It's a 4 count. So you'd exhale, and then you're going to inhale. And exhale. You try not to tighten up your shoulders. I did a little bit in that first one, but you want to stay as relaxed as you can. Obviously, it's a bit funny having your hands on your rib cage right here, but you focus your breath in the center part of your ribs, opening and closing. So we'll try it again. We'll inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's intercostal breath. Okay, so that's pranayama number 2. I'm just going to run through these. I'm going to do another video that has just these without the explanation. So it'll just be a 5-minute video where we run through a few rounds of all of the breathing that I'm teaching in this one. So this will be the informational video, and the other one will just be a short guided video that once you understand how it's done, you can continue to do it. Take 5 minutes out of your morning to focus on these breaths, and that way throughout your day, if you notice a change in your own mental state, you can come back to these breaths. Pay attention. Just where am I breathing from? How am I breathing? How am I feeling? And how is it all connected? Right? So we're going to move to clavicular breathing, right? And most people breathe from the chest up. You can actually tell with people, so if people have high anxiety or very fast moving and hard keeping their thoughts on track, people that are very airy and just all over the place sometimes, that a lot of that comes from not taking deep breaths. We want to make sure that all of our breaths have at least some air going into our diaphragm, right? On this breath, we just inhale because we still want to strengthen these muscles, right? I don't know if you can see it because the lighting's not the best, but so once you have the different parts of your lungs, the muscles associated with the different parts of your lungs worked out properly, then your breath can function more smoothly and you can have more control over it. So with our clavicular breath, you take your fingers, you find your clavicle bone, right? You go just under your clavicle bone to these muscles right here, okay? Now, this breath obviously is not going to be a 4 count in and a 4 count out because we're not filling up our lungs completely. So it's just going to be inhale, 1, 2, exhale, 2, 1, inhale, 2, 1, exhale, 2, 1, inhale, 2, 1, exhale, 2, 1. If you're thinking about that same pitcher of water that I spoke about earlier, you're only think of it stopping right here. So you're just now we're not moving our shoulders forward and backwards, we're just trying to focus on these muscles. So if you've done any type of strength training or anything like that, when you think about isolating a muscle, right? When you're doing a bicep curl, you don't want to move your elbow, you don't want to move your shoulder, right? To isolate this muscle, you only want to focus on that muscle doing the pulling, right? You don't want this swinging motion because then this muscle is only getting a portion of the exercise that you're trying to focus it on. So do the same thing, focus on your muscles right here. Right, so put your fingers here with me. We'll do a couple rounds. Right, so exhale all the air out of your lungs. Remember to breathe through your nose. We're going to inhale, exhale, inhale, 2, 1, exhale, 2, 1, inhale, 2, 1, exhale, 2, 1, inhale, 2, 1, exhale, 2, 1 on your own time. All right. Good. Now the fourth one is diaphragmic breath, right? So let me fix the slides. So we're inhaling and exhaling from our diaphragm. So basically lower than our chest line. And luckily I still have a big enough gut that you can see it quite good, right? We'll do this one normally laying down, but you can do it sitting or standing as well. And it's a 4 count. So we're going to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. We're not trying to use any of these chest muscles anymore. We're just focusing on the diaphragm. So if you were laying down, you'd lay down on your back, your knees would be bent and in the air. You'd have one hand laying on your stomach and the other hand laying next to you. And you'd exhale all the air out of your lungs, almost squeezing your abdomen so you can feel that there's nothing left in there. And then from there, you're going to inhale and exhale. And you're not going to try and force it, but you're definitely going to feel the muscles in your abdomen and your diaphragm working, right? So you'd inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going. Inhaling, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really good. Now, we want these all to be a really smooth motion. I mean, if you were looking really closely at me, you could see maybe it was going with the count, but that was because I'm physically counting. I'm having to say the words. So on my inhale, I'm actually having to exhale a little bit in order to speak. But when doing it on your own, it's just a smooth motion. Inhaling, exhaling. The same with all of these. You inhale, exhale. You inhale, exhale, right? And you can do them all for a 4 count. If you get to where a 4 count is really easy, you can then start to increase, but you want to keep it even. You want to keep your inhale and your exhale even. On your clavicular breath, you never really need to do more than a 2 count in and a 2 count out, right? There's only so much space you can have in this part of your chest. It's not like your diaphragm and your intercostal muscles that can really expand. So I hope that this was good. Oh, you know what? I'm going to throw in one more type of breath. This is alternate nostril breathing, and you guys might have heard about this before. This is such a good way to calm your mind down. And this is one of the things that I do if I feel the need to meditate, to calm down, if I'm feeling anxious, if there's anything like that going on and my mind is very scattered and even though I'm trying not to think about something, it just keeps popping up in my mind, I use this type of breath and it's just it can be a lifesaver, you know, like it's really amazing. So it's really easy. It can be just tricky right at first, getting it down, but once you get it down, it's amazing. So you will block one part of your nose, right? And you're going to inhale through this nostril. And then you're going to switch and you're going to exhale through the other nostril. And then you're going to inhale back through that same nostril and then switch and exhale through the other nostril. And then inhale, switch, exhale. Inhale, switch, exhale. So our nostrils, right? You know, we have two sides of our brain. We have our right brain and our left brain. We have, you know, the very logical brain, the very creative side of the brain. They also call it the sun and the moon, right? One side of your brain, breathing out of one nostril can actually stimulate your brain. It can wake you up. Breathing through the other side of the nostril can calm you down and help you to sleep, actually. So if you were wanting to go to sleep, if you breathe in and out through your left nostril, it stimulates the right side of the brain and it will calm you down. So you take long, deep breaths in and out through your left nostril, and it'll help to put you to sleep, right? If you breathe in and out through your right nostril, it will wake you up. So if you're having trouble waking up in the morning, I do short in and out breaths, like through my right nostril for a couple minutes, and I will be wide awake like I just had a couple cups of coffee. Anyways, we do this. We'll do it 4 count in, switch, 4 count out. We're not holding the breath at the top. We're not holding the breath at the bottom. We're just going in and then flowing out and then flowing in and flowing out. So if you try it with me, you plug your right nostril and inhale through your left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Then inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. So really, when you get this down, close your eyes, put a timer on for like 3 minutes to start. Okay, 3 minutes, easy, right? Just do this. Do the 4 counts in, 4 counts out, switching your nostrils. Do it for 3 minutes with your eyes closed, relaxing your body, and just see the difference of where you were when you started and where you are when you ended. Okay, and then keep this in the back of your mind and know that you can revert to this anytime. Anytime you just throw a few minutes and pay attention to your breath, and you will really, really notice the difference. So like I said, this was an instructional video that I'm now going to put together a quick, like 5-minute, maybe 7-minute video that you can just run through on your own without me having to describe every single one again. Alright guys, I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you very much for listening, and I'm going to do a lot more videos like this. So yeah, keep a lookout for them.